And the video is funny as hell. Some freelance artist out in L.A.
Nothing like a little behind the scenes action, right?
Right.
A little inside the baseball.
Little inside baseball operation. Y'all ready to go do this thing?
We are ready.
How about bringing me up some music?
Do it. And this is PodSafe? Okay. A little bit of Jack Black over there.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is the Terrible Truth, brought to you by the IPN Network right here in IPN Studios in lovely downtown Ybor City. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mr. Right.
Not because I'm Mr. Right,
Nope.
but because I'm right. Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
Off to my right here, we have Miss Veronica Stiles. She's decided to add a last name, Miss
I
Stiles.
did. Well, it's on Facebook. We don't have to say it.
Yeah, she's
There's
on
a lot of Veronica.
Well, you want people to
Oh,
hook you up on
yeah, I have
Facebook.
Facebook. It's
yes.
She's got a
Yes.
Facebook now. She's
Finally,
official.
she has
Veronica
finally become a
Stiles. Veronica Stiles.
I've become a person.
Finally become a person.
Yeah,
out
she's
there.
become a person.
She's a
And
real
I have a
human being.
picture. Yeah.
And then, of course, off to my left, we have the always funny DJ Change.
I don't try to be funny. I'm be for real most of the time.
I
I'm
be
for real.
for real.
I be for real.
All
That's how
right.
you know I'm
You know,
serious
my
about it.
friend from Virginia, she says that you're the charming black guy.
Well, that's good.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Thank you,
That's nice.
Virginia. I love you.
Joking. That's a joke.
Don't hate.
Now, unfortunately, Miss Money couldn't be here today, folks. She had some work commitments, like she had to go to work.
As always.
So, but
Yeah.
She gotta make that
she
money.
will still be able to make a contribution to today's show, which is about women's lists.
Oh, hell.
Because I have a little story of how she got her name, Miss Money.
Uh-oh.
I'm not
Cha-ching.
even for sure that she even knows the full story. She probably knows bits and pieces of the story, but she got that the first day we met her.
Yep.
And the next time we saw her, I turned to Dr. Lovestrain and said, "There's
Yes,
Miss Money."
That's me, y'all.
There's Miss Money.
And so we'll get into that. But
For some
I
reason,
would like to...
Men always think women are all about money.
No, for some reason, women always want men with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
If
what it is.
we
at
wouldn't
all.
think that if
just
it
doesn't hurt.
wasn't so prevalent.
Right. It doesn't.
Honestly, it doesn't hurt, but truth be told, have you ever tried to frown on a wave runner? It's really hard. It's really hard.
Frown on a wave runner.
What exactly
I'm probably too white for that comment. What's going on?
Hell, I don't
Actually,
even know what
think
it
if you're
is.
white, that probably makes you more inclined to know what a wave runner is.
Exactly.
Jet ski takes
Right.
money to buy a jet ski. I'm not saying money means everything, but money certainly helps get the ball rolling.
It does. It does help.
Doesn't
a
hurt to
little
have a game
bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah. That is true.
Old guy perspective.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's getting started early, folks.
If we're up,
He's getting started early.
if we're up in this kind of conversation this early in the day, you know it's bad.
Yeah.
As far as wave runners, money, and material things go, women want security.
Security.
Has
Thank
nothing to
you.
do with the toys, has nothing to do with anything. You know, the house could be small, it could be large, it could have a maid, it could not. You know, the point is, women like people who can provide. That's the bottom line.
Thank you.
Old guy perspective out.
You're jumping
the
the
old guy's
gun. You're
percent.
jumping the gun. Let me ease into that. All right. I gotta ease
Old
into
guy
that like an
perspective.
old man eases into the bathtub. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Don't sink your balls in first to see how hot it is.
Exactly.
Just the tip.
I agree. I think women just want security, and it does not necessarily mean you have to have a mansion or.
Well,
a
what's
yacht.
on your list?
Oh, my list. This is a whole page long.
She got a Santa Claus list.
I
Oh, she's just gonna put it right in front of my face.
My God.
Oh, yes. Classic.
I mean, and okay, so I'm not anal.
I thought you
Wow.
were.
Anal.
I thought we had this conversation.
We had this conversation.
Is that
already.
I thought we talked about this a few episodes back in one of your little
Right.
sex
on
on
the
Veronica.
list?
I said I'm not.
And
anal.
you were like, oh yeah, anal's fine.
Anal is fine. I'm saying I'm not anal retentive.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
The other kind of anal.
The other anal.
Other kind of anal.
About my list. I mean, you don't have to have everything. I will date a guy who doesn't have all of them, but I am really particular when it comes to height. You have to be taller than me because I like to wear heels. So 6 foot or more, I would like. I
5'11".
have dated a shorter guy,
Now,
but
have you considered
it becomes
like
hard.
adjusting your?
But what
heels
about
to
a
fit the
longer guy?
Like maybe one guy can't afford 6-inch stilettos,
But
but
the longer guy,
maybe some like
this kind of long guy. No, I mean, I don't like short heels. They don't feel comfortable. They're a waste of time, and they're not as sexy.
Wait.
as stilettos.
Waste of time for who?
Wait.
For me,
You're telling me that long heels are comfortable?
yes.
Like
They're
stilettos.
sexy.
if you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
like stilettos.
I know how to walk in them. I walk in them pretty
It's an
well.
art
Sure you do.
I'm a professional, so.
Professional
yeah, it's
what?
an art form. Thank
Walker?
you. Yes, I'm a professional heel wearer, not
Oh.
necessarily walker. I drive everywhere.
Oh.
She used to be a model.
Yeah, that's what
So
you walk in.
Cat-
I
yeah,
had to learn to do it for a
Hey,
model.
those catwalks are pretty long. I will
They
say
are.
that.
Yes, they are.
Right. So musculars. I don't necessarily.
But most models don't have an ass. You got a little bit of an ass.
right.
I don't think they've
I see
seen
where
it.
size
Whoa,
two.
whoa.
I mean, it's a little.
We're talking
bit.
about the list.
Whoa.
Yeah. Can we get?
It's
back to
it's
my
on the
list?
list. It's on. I
Ass
think.
is not on the list.
Oh.
My ass is nowhere on my list.
I'm sorry. My bad. I was-
Okay, ass is usually on a guy's list.
So what's next on the list?
Okay, muscles. I like muscles. Muscles are important to me. I mean, I want you to be able to pick me up, throw me around.
What about tattoos? Did that kind
I
of
like
help?
tattoos.
Okay.
I have 9 tattoos, so tattoos aren't bad. I mean, muscles, I have gone out with guys who have a little bit of a bulge. And I mean, so.
It's called the keg.
Not
called the
necessarily the
keg.
keg yet.
Some people have
Keg.
6-pack, some people have kegs.
It's
Right.
not a beer belly. It's a gas tank for a sex machine. All right.
Is that
feeling
what?
it? Yeah.
See, but the only thing is, I don't like all that sweat, like dripping on me while So
But I thought you'd like
Why
to
don't
get
you
hot
just get
and
on
sweaty.
top and not let gravity work against you?
I guess that's a way to look at it. We talked about this last week, but I'm so into clean teeth, white. I'm not into missing teeth. If you're missing teeth, it's over. Like no. Educated. I definitely want someone who's going to school or who's done school. You must have a car. I'm sorry, guys. When I was 19 and 20, I did the whole I'll pick you up and I'll drop you off. That's not cute to me anymore.
Does a bike count?
A bike is fine. I
Like
mean,
a
but what
10
happens
speed?
when it's raining? A
10
10 speed.
10 speed.
No, I'm just.
Yeah,
Hey,
because he doesn't say the 10-speed.
I-
transportation.
I mean,
What if it's like a two-seater? A two-seater bike? Is that
no,
fine?
Yeah.
it's too hot in Florida for a 10 speed.
So pedal fast. It's teamwork. Hello.
Get that, yeah.
Yeah, you get the
two-seater.
nice warm breeze blowing.
Yeah,
Sweat
you
just
work out.
evaporates.
Right.
You're good.
No.
If she can't ride a bike with you, like how are we supposed to move this relationship further?
Exactly. That obviously you're selfish.
Ride my handlebars.
Okay, so, all right, so let's go back to my list. No bikes, no 10 speeds. Goals, I definitely want him to be looking forward to the future, who, wants something, a better career, not a better career. If he has a career, that's great. Just a career is good. Drive, ambition, someone who's looking to have more than what they have right now. Chivalry, please open the doors, your car's
You
door.
can help with that.
Well, I mean, I'll reach over and open your door.
No.
No?
Now, what if we let you
No.
in the car?
All right, no.
And the door's locked on,
Oh.
on the driver's
I'll-
side.
I'll reach over.
Will you open it, or are you gonna get mad like we're expecting you to open
No,
it? Was that
I'll
cool?
reach. I always
Is that
reach.
too much?
I always reach over. I always reach
I
over.
appreciate
She just did
You
now.
know what movie
just
that
did
came
now. She
from?
just
What was
did
that
Would you
Italian
always
movie?
So
that,
over and around, or
there was an Italian movie where this young kid dated this black girl, and it was really not. He wasn't supposed to do that, and he told
because he's Italian, or because she's
because he
black?
was Italian.
Okay.
Well, both, right? So he was like, "Well, you always open the lady's door, and if she reaches over and opens yours, she's the one."
Sweet. I like it.
I like
it.
that. So
But
I-
that's an Italian thing.
That could really go badly.
looking.
though. The girl
I
you brought
myself
home
am
for
looking
math
for an
tutoring.
Italian woman. Now, when I say an Italian woman, and we'll get into this when we talk about boycotting American women, folks. When I say Italian woman, I mean one that was born in Italy, not an American Italian one, because they've been Americanized.
oh god.
Oh yeah, that's.
But what I meant by you can help with that is you can set it up to be the standard and requirement. Like if you're coming out of the restaurant and you're getting back in the car, you go to your door on the car and you just stand there.
Oh.
and wait for him
But what if
to
he-
realize that
wait a
so
minute.
he
Know
should
your
get out the
spot,
car.
Wait.
If
What
he's selfish, he gets in the car first. He doesn't realize, ooh, I didn't let her in the car. In order for you to get in the car, he's got to get out of the car, walk around. And it's
So
a
what if
learning
he never?
lesson.
What if he never?
Would you pull away?
Yeah. What if he just
Would
like?
you do that to teach the lesson? Would you like maybe like start the car and she's like, ah, you're funny, and then maybe move like put it in like drive
What
or
would
neutral
she
down the
do?
hill a little bit?
I mean, I don't.
Because she's already wearing heels, so this
No.
isn't gonna go well.
Hey,
I
it
just
could be
know
a
if I have to
confidence
open
test.
my own
It
door,
could be a
I probably
confidence
won't go
test.
out with you again.
But what if I have a remote control door?
Then you're getting laid.
Hit
That's
it.
just that's just
Just
unlocking
open the door to
the car.
remote.
No, they actually have remotes that you can open the door with.
Bro, you're gonna
Yeah,
go
really.
into a knife fight.
All right.
You got to pull the door open.
You
said
sure
she's
you're
looking
that
for
she's
sure.
that lazy?
She
I'm
says
definitely-
she's looking for silk.
Yeah. I mean, if we're walking.
I have a horse in the back.
I have a
You want
question.
real
I have a
chivalry?
question for Miss
Okay,
V.
what's the question?
Do you think chivalry's dead?
I mean,
Yes.
I think some men kind of stop doing it because so many women come off so independent and they really, don't care. And
Seriously, if you leave flour
But
in
I
a girl's
mean-
locker, you're a stalker now.
not necessarily. I've had guys that bust
That's
in
true.
front of me and say, "No, don't touch the door. I got
If you
it."
want them to, but if
You
it's
know?
that one guy with like lice or like dandruff or something,
do
kind
you
of been
think-
sweating a lot,
I still
who's
will let him
someone- see,
open
If he
the
opens
door.
that door, you're gonna be like, I'll wait.
No.
I got this.
But do you think women killed it because
No.
of the independence? Because they can do it themselves?
I mean, I think a lot of men stop doing things because they feel that way about females. But I mean, for the most part, I think if you're an attractive female, you'll have doors open for you.
Because women lie.
What?
About doors? That doesn't make any sense.
All right,
Not about
wait,
doors,
Back
he
to my list. Okay, so workouts. I like a man who works out, and I mean, I know not everybody is, wants to work out, but I think if a female
What
encourages
qualifies
it,
as a workout?
Going
not
to the
getting off
gym.
your couch, yes, going to the. I mean, there's really cool home workouts as
Yeah.
well too, but not just picking up the remote and getting up from the couch and going to the
No,
refrigerator.
I mean like you both buy yoga balls, but you do like an Adam and Eve yoga ball thing, and you're bouncing up and down. Then you happen to
I
bump
mean,
into
yoga's
each
not
other.
a really
Adam and
good.
Eve?
And Adam
What-
and Eve,
what
I've
the
never
hell
heard
is
of that.
You don't know what the Adam and Eve is, man? It's where you just walk
You're
around.
part of this music scene, which is a
Oh.
whole other universe to me. I'm not in the music scene, all right?
That's terrible news.
Well, we have a couple people with the chivalry comment that says chivalry isn't dead, and this is Travis Turner. Chivalry isn't dead because of the change in music.
What?
And he's saying
no,
because
Travis,
of
man,
music.
Travis, man.
Wait, like the change in like
Chivalry's
pop
dead
music?
and
Well,
women
because
killed
how
it.
rappers
Yes,
are
women
like,
did kill it.
because
Women did kill
rappers,
it.
you know how rappers are like, you bees and hoes.
It wouldn't be
and-
so bad if
so they
women.
really
If
are
there's
looking down on
there is a
females.
general populace of women who want to be objectified, and it's horrible and it's sad and it ruins
There
for a
is.
lot of you. But like some of them just like being called a hoe. It's
Right.
screwed up.
Right, and then Christelle said no, chivalry isn't dead. Women just stopped demanding it.
Exactly.
I like
Women
that.
killed it.
Like the good comment.
That was a
Women
good
aren't
comment.
demanding enough.
No,
He said when boys.
women just like the bad guys now.
Old guy perspective.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right. 20 years ago when I was dating, if you were holding a door for a woman and you were in a big city, say New York or Chicago, you get your face slapped.
Yes.
Or you get told off because I can do this myself.
Okay.
I can handle this. I'm an independent woman.
Right.
You know. And many a time, I'm telling you right now, my father raised me right. My mama was from the South. I grew up in southern Chicago. I know the difference
Black power?
between chivalry and being a gentleman.
Oh.
Now, being a gentleman just meant you hold the door for anybody.
Right.
But at the time, if it was specifically you waited for a woman and held the door for her,
Well,
and depending on how you were looking at her, you could get your face slapped.
that was during the movement. That's when women
Yeah,
were
and
trying to
I
really.
gotta tell you, I'm glad that movement's over. I'm hearing what you're saying now,
Right.
and it gives
Is
me
it
hope.
over, Chuck? Is it over?
It gives me hope. You know,
The
to some
movement.
degree, because they're a smaller minority than they used to be.
Right.
They're still very vocal.
Right.
And that's why you hear it exactly. It's not popular anymore. You know,
Right.
women do want to be treated right.
Absolutely.
They do want to be pampered. At least
Absolutely.
that's my opinion from the old guy perspective.
Well,
Right.
stop.
I agree.
well,
I
women
agree.
need to stop going for the assholes and come to the nice guy.
All right, that could be it too. I want someone who eats healthy. I'm not, a burger and fry type of girl, and I mean, I won't eat it if it's not around me. So I just don't want it around me, so that I won't really eat it.
Kind of like your drinking problem, right?
Huh?
Kind of like your drinking problem, right?
Ooh, I mean, I guess like I don't know what. I know, right? I know what's the problem.
Seems like it's going fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she said you were talking about being sober for a month or something.
Yes, it's.
Yeah, she was
been-
like, I stopped
it has-
drinking.
It's been a month and a week now. right?
Really?
Yeah. it's been
And
a
you
month
notice
for
she
me.
has not came out to Jackson's yet for a
No,
reason.
I won't.
Uh,
I won't come out for a while still.
Okay.
All right, so I want a man who's still, who's willing to take a woman out. I don't want to be your closet romancer at home, and that's just all the time at home. Like, I'm not about it. I want someone who buys gifts. I'm not, I don't want a cheap dude at all when it comes to like gifts and flowers and.
Now we're getting into some of the gold digging stuff.
That's not gold digging. I keep telling y'all.
Cheap gifts.
Gold digging
How much
is
does a rose cost?
That was actually kind of expensive.
$6.99.
Rose
A
is
rose.
one rose
As far as
is like
plants go,
$1.99.
flowers,
What?
roses are
That is
kinda-
not run 99. That is
Alright.
that is not a real rose.
Yeah,
If they're
question.
$3, what's the big deal?
They're like $6 for a rose.
What is a
For
cheap
one
gift?
rose.
What is a cheap
Yeah, for a real rose with the thorns on the stem. Yeah,
That's a good
$6 for one.
yeah. If
Miss
it's a rose,
B,
Alright,
what is a cheap
well, I
gift
want
for
it.
you? What's the cheap gift?
a Bentley.
Please don't. A cheap gift. I don't know. I mean, sometimes it just, the thought that counts. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
A card. That's a cheap.
Take off the D.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah, that
know.
kinda
A
shows
card
you
could be
half-assed.
pretty sweet. A card could say a lot of words.
It has to be a Hallmark.
Carnations.
Version of a card. No, I mean,
carnations are $1.
he means like a card. He said a card, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he said a card. That's all I
I
said.
mean, a card's
I
not.
thought she meant to get for
For just a
Cards are
normal day,
sentimental.
like a birthday, I hope not.
So is it gifts or romantic gifts?
What? What's the difference?
Seriously.
Is there a
What do you mean?
difference?
Oh, here, let me get you
romantic-
this. Let me
it's
get you
romantic
this
to
sweater.
give gifts.
Because today is Tuesday. Yes, absolutely. Get me a sweater because today's Tuesday.
Really?
I mean, why not?
Oh.
That is romantic, right? Out of the blue, that's
Out of the blue,
romantic.
in Florida, I'm gonna get you a sweater.
All
Really? Come on.
right, you
How
don't have to take
practical
me.
is that?
sweater vest.
He said, "Oh, look, Travis said a coupon to Walmart is a cheap gift."
Yes.
But-
there you go. All right.
That's
That's
a
a good.
$50
No, but
gift
it's
card to
also,
Walmart.
it's also
Yeah.
very thoughtful. It's a very versatile store.
That is true.
I mean,
$50 gift
Walmart
card to
does have a
Walmart,
lot
you
of
know,
stuff.
yeah.
That is true.
Good morning. I'm glad you got that.
You want to buy
Yeah.
hot dogs or buy your own
Oh.
sweater?
The name of the movie I was talking about
Yeah, use
earlier
it correctly,
is
you
A
can get 'em
Bronx
both.
Tale. Do you guys remember
Bronx
A
Tale?
Bronx
Yeah,
Tale,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Remember that? Okay. All right, so anyway, faithful. I want someone who's faithful and loyal, and I want a handyman. Someone who's like willing to fix things around the house. I think that's so sexy.
Question for you.
Yes.
What if he is not so much a handyman, but he will always try, but like he always
I'm about
messes it
I'm
up?
about it. I think that's
It's
cute
sad.
too.
As long as you call it
That's
something.
sad.
It's like, oh, you got paid the bill. Get me that.
I think that's cute. I think
It's a
it's
good effort, but turn the water off and get stuff to do.
I think it's cute. I think at least the thought is cute. I mean, someone who's supportive and uplifting, and
How long is this list?
it's pretty long.
I
but
told you she got like a
like
Santa
I
Claus
said,
list. That's just
it does-
part
you
one.
don't have to
See,
have.
her list is done through the prism of she's no longer 20 years old, so she doesn't have the doctor driving the BMW on there like some other women have.
But she'd
No.
still like a BMW.
It would be
Don't
beautiful.
get
It would be a
twisted.
nice thing, but
Yeah,
it's not
she's-
mandatory.
she's adjusted it to say, okay, I don't really need a guy that has money. I need a guy with ambition because
To get
money
money.
will get money.
Right.
You know, the guy will get
Well,
money
yeah,
eventually.
She's got the long term in mind, I guess
Right.
you could say, but
Right.
it's still she's still wanting a starting point that's pretty profile like.
It's
Well, yeah, right. I'm
It's
looking
how
for a
like,
future
that's
at
what
this
Miss Money's looking
point.
for.
So would you
I mean,
say,
before-
would you say that could be like what women's standards are? Is they're looking for the future, like old guy segment said?
Right. Yeah. I think. Oh, guys, segment.
Oh, guys segment.
I think. Yeah. I think most women are looking for the future. I mean, I think when it comes to younger females. I mean, I know a younger female. Christelle's on here, and we kind of talked last night, and she said she wants a guy who makes more money than her. I'm not necessarily.
Why is that?
I got a question. though.
Because she wants security. You definitely want to know maybe later on in life you have a kid, you want to stay home. You want to make
Oh,
sure that
someone's
man
got
can
your
pay
back,
all the
yeah.
bills and, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that you still look good in the meantime.
Oh, same thing with bank.
I got a
loans, money,
question.
all
I got a
secure.
question.
All secure.
All security.
No, he's got the point that I made earlier. All of these things equal security.
All
Right.
security.
Yeah. It is all about security. I mean,
Yes,
you
I
guys
just
have it
got-
wrong. When
I
it
just
comes
got
to
one
gold
more.
gold digging normally is a chick that doesn't have an education. She just is all beauty and nothing else, and she wants a guy who has all this money to take care of her. That's gold digging, not a female who has an education,
right.
wants to look good, and wants to make sure her man can support her.
So would you say it's fair for a guy in the same aspect to be looking for a woman who's got something going for
Well,
them
then you
too.
got to be willing to spend the money. I mean,
Oh no! But they want the same like.
Then that's gold digging.
someone who's
The same.
That's not gold
Somebody
digging.
who's not like necessarily full of themselves, but they handle their stuff and
Right.
they got something going for them.
Oh, I think men should want.
All right, I got a question.
Okay.
It's his show. My bad.
Jeez.
It is his show.
Mr. Right
I had a
show.
question like 5 minutes ago.
Did you remember it?
Okay, so now I forgot the freaking question.
Wow.
You bastards! Shut
Wow,
the
really?
hell up!
Oh,
While
no.
he's thinking about his question, I just
Okay.
have one thing to say. With your list, it's obvious what type of man you've been thinking about it for a long time. And
Bill
I just wanna
Gates.
say,
Oh,
I'm
there we go.
sorry, baby, I'm
All right, I
not
remember
available.
my question.
I'm just not available. I've been married now 21 years. That's
Wait,
she's not listening to me, is she?
No. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Okay, wait.
See,
wait,
I
wait.
told you. You,
Wait,
if you
wait,
don't meet the
don't listen.
requirements,
That's
if you
all.
don't meet the requirements, okay, all right, yeah, okay.
Sit your ass on down.
Okay,
Right.
You've been married for 20 years.
I was just saying, it's obvious that you got a list, that you've thought it through, you know
Yeah.
exactly what you want out of life and out of your man, and that's a beautiful thing. But I got to
Right.
tell you, baby, I'm not available. I appreciate it, but the way
Exactly.
you're going on, it's got to stop.
I mean, yes, I'm looking forward to the future. It's not necessarily a right now thing. So, I mean, if he doesn't have the nice car, is in the BMW, and he's driving a Neon, and he has his own place,
Neon.
and I mean, you know, I don't want you driving a Neon, and this is from experience, people. I don't want you driving a Neon, living at home, have 3 kids. I mean, at home with your parents, have 3 kids. You're paying off $50,000 worth of debt. No, I'm not interested.
Damn.
But I mean, if you are having a
That's a
Neon,
little bit.
He's got a good heart though.
That's a little bit.
Right.
He could be a doctor, just got through medical school. Or
How do you even get
Could
that?
be.
That's a lot of money.
could
In a
be,
neon.
I thought
But
we were
it's
talking about long
no,
hauls.
he's not.
What about
I asked.
Warren Buffett, one of the third richest man in the world? He drives like an old car.
Oh, I'm
I
not,
think he got so rich.
Buffy's really rich, but really frugal.
Keep that overhead low.
okay. I mean, no.
Like he's really rich, but he's not going to spend the money on you. But you have the security of knowing if you ever do get in trouble, he'll be there. But in the meantime, you're just going to live in a middle class home. With
Like,
a
do you want someone who's
car.
flashy?
I'm okay with being middle class.
Are you looking for flash?
What is middle? What? I don't know.
See, you asked too many questions, so you do care about it.
I mean, I mean, middle class is okay.
I see where
You
you're
got
going.
busted.
Middle class is okay. I don't
just
need
got
$1 million home. I mean, what am I gonna do with it? I just want one more set of kids, and that's it. Like,
As
I
the
don't-
previous old guy perspective said, she wants security.
absolutely.
Security.
It doesn't.
Now,
I want to
let
make
me
sure
get to
my
my
kids,
question.
I want to make sure my
Mr.
kids
Wright.
are okay
Mr.
in the
Mr.
future.
Wright.
Yes, you know what? Why don't you tell us about what's her
because I
name's
want to
list?
ask my question.
Okay, you have a question.
And then we'll get to my list.
Not your list, but her list.
He's about to slap the shit out of
Now.
somebody in the studio.
He a mix today.
He is it.
Okay, here's my question.
Okay.
Why is it that women want these things for a long-term relationship, but they will make their relationship decisions based off of the emotional and the immediate and not a long-term? Why do they do that? I don't understand why women will base their relationship decisions off of emotion. This is how women get played. All the players got to do is make her feel good, make her feel quote-unquote secure.
Make me feel
And then she's the one with the broken heart, and he's done had his sex, and he's done moved on to the next girl.
Well, I think that's.
And yet, what's the longing in her heart is that she wants a long-term committed relationship with a good guy.
I think
But she will make her relationship decisions off of emotion and not get what she wants.
I think women who go for men like that have let their standards down. They're not paying attention to the things that they want. They're looking at right now. He looks good, you know, and he wants me. I can't believe he wants me type girl. So she has low self-esteem and she can't handle. I don't know. She can't handle herself. I guess.
I think a lot of girls get tied up in like the idea that they go for what they want and not
Right.
what they need.
Right. That too.
And you know, you put a lot of things on a pedestal, and it just eventually you fall short of it every time.
Right, and Christelle said it sounds like the women that you're talking about don't take enough time to observe men before investing.
Yeah, this is
their
women
time
in
them.
general.
I don't.
I mean, we
you
can't-
can't
yeah,
say women
that's
in
women.
general. That's so
especially
big.
in the age range of 18 to 25.
But you have to keep
The
in
model
mind,
age range, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
You got to bear in mind though that most women at that age range
Are
are
not
equally as shallow as most men. At
Right,
that age range.
exactly.
It's
And
not
we're
like
not-
one's right and one's wrong. It's that they're both just as shitty.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know at that age, I said I wanted a long-term relationship, but I mean, I just wanted to have fun and have a sexy guy. And, you know, of course, if he had really nice things, that was great too. I wasn't really I didn't really know what I wanted. I just was dating and having fun. So 18 to 25, I think that is the time for you to explore and maybe then decide, you know, the type of man
Yeah, but
you
see,
want
here's
in
the
the
here's the
future.
problem that arises when you're doing that. You're sitting there, you're having fun, and what you really long for is that long-term committed relationship. I mean, you know you're going to try and get to it eventually, but in the meantime, for possibly the first 10 years of your adult life, you're making decisions and establishing a pattern of behavior that's counterproductive to what you really want in the long run. You're establishing a pattern of bad choices, basically. And how do you, I mean, that's where a lot of the marriage problems comes in.
Well, I mean, or you're figuring out or you're ruling out things. I mean, you don't know. You learn as you go. Exactly.
Trial
So
and error
if I
process.
didn't meet a guy who's a bastard and says these type of things, then I won't be able to notice it next time some guy says the same type of things or does similar things. I mean, because I've never experienced it. So I think it's a great thing to kind of experience life, and then you get to figure out, like I have a list of things that I'm looking for the future. I mean, you don't that doesn't just come to your mind at some point, like, unless your mother and your father treat you really well when you're young. And I think even sometimes then you make mistakes. So, I mean, I think it's a really good thing to kind
Are
of,
you blaming parents then?
everything can fall back to parents. I mean,
Ooh, everything?
Everything.
I think parents have a lot to do with a lot of
Mama,
things.
I
that-
think we've had a breakthrough.
What you say about my mom?
It's her fault.
Is there-
Pretty much, that's what she said. No, you know, just from my perspective, there is a lot to do with the child's treatment of women, or men for that matter, based on how they were raised and what they saw growing up. Now, can that be changed is the question, because, you know, you come from a split family, and many people do. You know, over 50% of Americans have split families, and you see that your father was abusive to your mother. Are you going to continue that, or are you going to see how your stepfather maybe treated her better?
Ask Chris
Right.
Brown.
You know, and that's or
Sometimes that's so
or
hard.
did you not break that cycle and he treated you like shit too,
Right.
because that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's really hard to kind of break the cycle, but I mean, I think parents are the biggest influences, and it looks like a couple people agree on here as well.
Parents and public school, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the indoctrination industry in
Travis
America,
Turner said
public
parents
school.
in public schools.
Who said that on it?
Travis.
Travis Turner.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that one. But I
Hell
mean,
yeah, public school will
I
train
think
you.
I think when it comes to a male, I think, you know, parents need to sit down and say, you know, give them kind of how to be. Not necessarily, you don't need to go out and sow your oats with every female out there. Respect women and this and that. And I think, you know, mothers and fathers should sit around and explain that to their sons. And I think that women should speak with their daughters and say, you don't have to stand for, you know, the assault and the, you know, the violent tempers that men can have, and that they need to be need to expect or maybe tell a man how they want to be treated so that they get that exact, you know, result from it. I think it's really important that parents sit down and speak with their children about behaviors.
Very good.
So beautiful. Call my dad right now.
Right. Or read self-help books. I'm
Or read
all
self-help.
about that.
What about doing what's in the self-help books?
Yeah,
Whoa,
read them.
whoa, one
and-
step at a time, boss.
Yeah, right. Read them first. Read them first. I think that really helps. I didn't come
Well, I mean,
from,
the
didn't come
self-help
from a-
book industry is, you know, I'm going to try and get in it with, you know, my Terrible Truth book when I do a book for the show. But, you know, it's in the end, and I'm going to try and make this a point towards the end of the book. You got to do what's in the book, or it's not going to, you know, I'm just,
I mean, you have to variate
Maybe
it
put a
your
checklist
own
at
way.
the
You don't
end of the book.
necessarily.
it's all
wanna
nothing but a
do-
bunch of mental masturbation.
Make that point in the front of the book.
right.
And
That you're gonna make that change.
So many people I know have wasted
Keeps you
thousands of
active.
dollars on relationship books, still making the same mistakes.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't come from a wholesome family. My mom had kids.
But
with-
that has a lot to do with women's responsibility, taking responsibility for their own actions and their own choices.
Oh, that's a big one.
I mean,
Wow, the
what you say, women? I know, right?
Conversation killer that one was.
He is killing
you say men are the only creatures that take
No,
responsibilities?
men will cop to their responsibility a lot faster than women will.
There is
When
no
they're
greater
caught.
motivator than
Yeah,
necessity.
usually it involves them getting caught, and they're like, "All right, I guess I had to own up."
I don't know about that one.
No,
I think-
women will lie
Women
for a
just
long
pass
time.
off their responsibility onto the guy.
Women
and then
will
when
lie.
the guy doesn't fulfill it, then the guy's
Uh-oh,
irresponsible.
battle.
I mean,
Battle.
please give me a scenario because I'm so. I mean, I don't.
That is your
understand.
baby. That is your baby.
Oh my
Look
God.
at the eye. Look at the nose. Look at the.
Is that always what it is? Like it's the baby.
When you own up to your responsibilities, that's your baby.
Exactly.
That's your baby.
But I mean, how many men out there are not owning up to the responsibility of taking?
But that
care
is
of
true, though.
that-
But that is true.
what
All right,
that-
I'll give you.
But
I'll
you
give
also
a
have to
situation.
protect yourself
I'll give you a
because
situation.
some women.
Man and a wife, they're married. The guy's going out and cheating on his wife. The wife finds out, knows about it, and still takes him back every time he goes out and cheats on her.
Who's the bigger
Who's the bigger fool?
Well, I mean, she is obviously, but so you're telling her to. So who is she
She's
blaming
got
it on?
to
But
she's
she's
got to
blaming
own
it on
up
him
to
for going
she's
out.
got to own up to her anger to be angry at this asshole that's doing this to her.
Yeah, but
She just can't sit there and take him back and
Right.
you know, oh baby, I'm
That's the
sorry I
greatest
made a
thing you've ever
mistake.
been a
Oh,
part of.
please
Right.
forgive me.
I totally
I thought she
agree.
was you.
Relationships aren't black and
They're
white.
not
It's
black
the
and white.
greatest thing you've ever been a part
Right.
of.
So I mean, maybe
Yeah.
it could be something she's doing that's making him go out and do it. I mean, it should not making him, but I mean, it's kind of driving him to go out and do it. And maybe she needs to fix something too. But
Or
I
maybe
don't know.
because of
I
the
think
simple
when
fact
it comes
that
to
she will allow
relationships,
it.
it's so gray, like you said. We can't just pinpoint like the reasons why people do stuff. I mean, if we went on, like we were saying, what's the name of the show that that she keeps going back with?
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons.
Family Jewels.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
how she keeps going back with him, and and he doesn't want to get married, and she does, and she thinks. I mean, honestly, he
They have an
proposed.
understanding.
He's supposed to propose next.
Yeah, he is supposed to propose next week. I can't
He's
wait
doing
to
that
see
for
it.
ratings.
Yeah.
He's doing that for
Of course
ratings,
he
folks.
is, but I mean, I'm just saying, like,
It's not even a real ring.
you never know. I mean, people, I don't know, they spent their whole lives together, and I think I don't know. I really can't explain that. It's not. I own up to my responsibilities, so I really.
Well, some
you
women
guys keep
do.
generalizing, and it's pissing me off. You can't generalize women. We're not.
Well, you
all
don't
the
fit
damn
into a lot of
same.
these generalizations because you've taken responsibility for your life.
And there's many other women that are out there doing the same thing. So you have
Yeah,
to
there-
say.
there are.
So you have to say, what's up with these idiot women?
There are, but
that-
are we talking to those women?
You're the only one
Well, you're
here.
talking to
Bring
other
more,
women
bring
out
more.
there. So.
Ask the
So
viewers.
don't-
Ask the viewers. Viewers.
All right. So wait, viewers.
Ask the viewers.
What are we asking them? Because I have something that I want to read about standards. But you're supposed to be telling us about her standards, right? Don't you have April's standards?
Oh, yes.
Do you want to read this?
What is that?
No, I'll read it. Okay, so
There's
What
your
is
answer.
that?
this is the one that I was telling you about with the Afro
let me
women.
get to April.
Okay, go ahead. That's what I'm saying.
Let me
Get
get
to it.
Let me get to Miss Money here. All right, here we go. All right, the first day we met Miss Money, me and Dr. Lovestrange, when we had the radio show over at the college, we would go down to the cafe and we'd do
Start trouble.
we'd start trouble. We'd also spitball ideas back and forth in a live environment. And so I would typically say things that would get people's attention. Well, I ended up getting her attention. She came across the cafe. I mean, she had her book bag, ran across the cafe fast,
Yep. Yeah, that was true.
threw her stuff down on the bench,
And said, I gotta listen to this.
and said she had to be in part of this conversation. She said she had to. And so we started talking to her. We asked her the questions, what do men want? What do women want? That kind of stuff. And towards the end of the conversation, her brother was getting done with class, and they travel together and they go home. So he came down to get her, and so she had to leave. And at that point, we were talking about women's standards. We were talking about women's lists.
Yeah.
And so she rattled off, the first thing was that the man had to have money.
And that's if it
And she said that as she was kind of walking out the door, so she really didn't elaborate too much further on her list, and she wasn't able to. And so that's how she got the name Miss Money. And I've since had, talked to her about that during the course of the show, and she's come to understand, at least I hope,
For your sake, huh?
Well, not just for my peace of mind, but I mean for hers, you know, that it's not about strictly about money as we were talking about earlier. It's about ambition. A guy should have ambition. If he doesn't have ambition, he's going to be a lazy ass the rest of his life.
Right.
So if he's going to be out there and doing something, that's a good sign. And
But does she necessarily need money? Like me, money? Like
Well,
he has
she
to
does.
be
She-
rich,
she
or
said-
he just
yeah,
needs
that's
to be willing to take me out and buy
That's
me
the way
things?
the way she presented.
right
it,
now,
that's what
it's
she's doing.
she's the guy's got to make more money than her, so they can go out and have fun and go on dates. And,
So he can pay for everything.
I mean,
right, so
that's-
he can pay for everything
You know
because
what?
that's one of her standards is the
Yup.
guy has to pay for the dates.
Yup.
You know what? And I was having that conversation with Christelle last night, and she was saying that she is not willing to pay for a date, but I am. Like, I don't mind like maybe every couple dates or every 3 dates, like I pay for it,
Yes.
and we're not gonna say it like every 3 dates I'm paying for it, but every once in a while I'll say I got this.
Okay, question
Yes,
for you.
yes.
I don't
So
see anything wrong
what?
with that.
Let's say you go out on a
She
date
didn't
with
like
a guy and you had to pay for the date the first time, the second time, and the
Why
third
did
time.
I have to pay for it? Like, did I ask him out and he said, you
No,
know what, bro,
it's just-
I'd
it's
rather
just-
not go
no.
out with you because I don't have any money?
No,
I'm like,
it's
okay,
just it's just
cool.
y'all went out, y'all were talking, y'all end up going out, and he didn't have the money, and you end up paying for it.
When did I find out about that? That's
Right then, like right now.
No, I would jump out the window of the bathroom.
You wouldn't. So
No,
you
I mean
so you
I would
wouldn't go
pay
on.
for it and never talk to him again. Only because he didn't.
Would you-
He didn't give me
Would you
the
give him
right.
head?
What? He didn't. Why would I give him head? Head is nowhere in the thoughts of.
Why not?
But, no, I mean, if we were talking, I'm like, hey, why don't we go to dinner tomorrow or a Thursday or something like that? And he's like, well, I would love to, but I don't have the money right now. You know what I'm saying? And I said, well, I got it. I don't mind that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you at the date, we're sitting down eating, dinner's almost done, you're ordering dessert and shit, and then
no,
you're like,
I mean-
I forgot my wallet. Like, I'm
No, I
good.
mean it's not to that extreme, but it's more of the
Has that
fact
happened
like
before?
That has never happened to me before.
The way you told it, it sounded like it happened before.
Yeah,
no,
you know.
it's never happened to me.
Let me get some more
before.
lobster tails
I
over
mean,
here.
because
Bring some more food here. Bring it in this thing. She paying for it.
you're ordering more food and you don't even tell me you don't have a wallet. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty mad. And
No, it just
would
I mean
never
it
talk
just
to
it
you
just
again.
gradually, you know, y'all
I would leave.
you
I
have
would
the
leave.
you have
What
your
the guy that-
entree.
What the guy just said, let me just go to the bathroom break, and he never comes back.
I mean that's different.
yeah.
That's like that's
Well, now,
ditching.
what kind of sense does that make? I mean, the guy's in the date to try and get some pussy, and if he can't get any, why would he just up and leave? Did he want a free meal and
That's
wasn't worried
all.
about
That's
sex?
how
I'll meet
how
you in the
people
car.
do it. They want free food.
You know guys like this.
Yeah. So
You know men that's walked out on a date after they've eaten?
Yes, that girls told me.
Why the hell am I hanging out with you?
Why? Why not?
No, this is someone. So some girls told me about this story. I was like, damn. Wait, you eat
I've
those
never
guys.
had that issue, but okay, so she says she needs money and the guy has to pay for a date, which Christelle agrees. The man needs to pay for
Yeah,
all
I agree
dates.
with that too.
I'm only part I'm looking for is like, hey, if you notice that every 2 weeks I get my nails done, my hair done, or something like that, and you're like, hey, boo, here's some money. I know you like to get your nails done. I would like that every once in a while, but I'm not necessarily saying you've got to pay for everything that we do. I mean, I might set up a date where we go to a play or paintball shooting or something like that, and I might pay for it ahead of time before we get there and say, hey, we got
That's
to
how I
date.
think of it.
Yeah, I don't
Like
see
it-
anything
like,
wrong.
I think
It's 2011,
It's
like.
just if you're gonna ask somebody out, and usually that's what all men should do. If you're gonna ask the woman out, you should pay. A bill should even come up, cause
Well, I don't think if we ask a guy, I mean, like we were talking last week, men enjoy women saying, hey, you want to go out with me? Or, I like you,
that's
here's
because
my
a lot of women
number.
don't say that.
I mean, I think a man should ultimately be trying to pay for the bill, but if a female, I think it's nice. It's nice to have a female say, I got this one.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, not every week.
Because
Well, I
McDonald's
think-
is expensive.
I like when we
McDonald's.
covered the double
You
standards.
take me to
When we covered
McDonald's.
this in a double standards
Yeah.
episode back at the radio station, I thought April had a really good point. She said that if she asked the guy out on the date, she thinks that she should pay. So it's basically who's asking who out on that date.
I can agree
So
with
is
that.
it safe to say
Who's asking
if
who's
y'all
out?
never ask each other out, then
Then it's just a whole bunch of free sex, and that's awesome.
cool, fine with me.
I like that one. I guess if a female asks, then she can pay.
She better pay.
Yeah, I don't see anything totally wrong with it.
better pay.
She better pay.
I'm leaving my wallet in the car.
Oh man, then I don't know. I don't like those type of behaviors. Okay, so am I
Oh, well.
reading this thing now?
Yeah, go ahead and read your deal.
For some reason, I
And
can't
try-
get this to play here, but
Refresh it. Refresh.
stop.
Refresh.
Touching. I'm gonna do it right now.
But I like touching
Who's
your
Sweet
stuff.
Miss Virginia? I wanna.
Sweetness Virginia. I'm wondering if that's my friend. She decided to create a page.
Did she?
Is that you, Sweetness Virginia? Is that you?
Sweet
She's probably looking at the
face,
shirt.
wasn't it? Okay, so listen. All right, so I found this on
We'll call her
on
Thalia.
Yahoo. On Yahoo last night, and I was like really pissed about this. So this guy posts, and I think it's a guy. Yeah, his name's Steve. And I can't pronounce his last name, so I won't try. But he says, "Is Afro
Uokus.
Uwo-
Uokus.
whatever?
Wabwa.
Get off my paper."
No.
Your Greek friends.
Is
Oh, the
Your Greek
Oh,
friend?
you want to know how to say that?
Yeah.
Economopolus.
Are you lying or is that? Are you?
That's it. Economopolus.
Isn't it like a disease?
Is that his first and last name? Or
That's
his
his
first?
last name. That's just his last name.
Ecopolo.
okay, guys.
Economopolus.
Shut up.
Miss V wants to
It's
continue.
my turn. All right,
Oh,
so
excuse me.
I found this last night, and
Hey, you guys weren't letting me have my turn, damn it.
you're right. And he said, "Is Afro women's standards too high, and reasons why they break up and remain single?
Oh, this guy's a little bitter.
Why not
Afro?
lower and work up?" Afro, right?
Uh-oh, Afro.
I was like,
He had to go-
what?
he had
What
to
the
go
hell is Afro
Yeah,
women?
He had to
he
go
said Afro
Afro?
women's standards
kidding
too.
me?
All right, so let me read that again, just in case you guys didn't get it.
Steve, Afro is a hairstyle.
Right.
Okay?
It's not a
Hairstyle.
diversity.
It's not a diversity.
Right.
Yeah.
African, black,
Right.
black American.
Those
That's-
are
yeah.
right. So he said, "Is Afro's women's standards too high, and reasons why they break up and remain single? Why not lower and work up?" So this is his post. "It seems Afro's women's standards are too high. They want to date Jesus, and if it is not 100% about then, 100% when they want it, it's disagreement, breaks up, anger, and inability. Of course, 70% of Afro women are single, and nearly 65% raise kids single. Their standards are way too high, and they will not get it. In any event, high men also have high requirements that they can't meet, and Afro women are not willing to start with the streets and build the man up from scratch. They want it all in the beginning. They are not willing to sacrifice." And I got so mad because I'm like, first off, men that are on the street don't want to build up. Like, they're happy and
Whoa, hold
consent
up,
with
hold up.
wearing
Explain
their
this.
pants. What, you have something to say?
No, I said explain this. Just go ahead.
Well, I mean, he says they're not willing to start from the streets and build the man up from scratch. And I'm like, well, when you have a man from the streets that's wearing his pants down to his ankles and, golds in his mouth, that's where he is. That's where he's going to be. There's no growing from there. And if he grows, he's like 30 years old at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and so
man,
I've
yeah.
been going through, all
Yeah,
this
it's
trials and
embar-
tribulations for
embarrassing.
15 years of our life. No.
I'm still a rapper,
She
cool.
got the spinning umbrella of death.
Yeah, I do. I don't know why it won't fix.
Let me see.
So, what, my computer?
Yeah.
So, I thought the best...
Wait, it's
It's
starting to load.
coming? Okay.
Yep, there. It's refreshing.
All right, so I thought the best answer to this was, and it's pretty long, guys, so hold in. And please, send in your comments about, how you guys think women do African-American women have standards too high? And are we saying that because there's not many African-American men that make it in life? Why are we...
I think
No.
what I think is, I think people mix up standards and expectations because African American women always have high expectations because they getting rise out of the workforce. I mean, they're taking over companies, so they expect someone with high expectations. It's just don't keep it up too high, but it's good to have expectations.
So what's high standards? That's what I was so confused on. What's high standards? The man has to have a BMW. Is those high standards?
It's
No,
something-
those are more materialistic
Anything
things.
material, anything
Yeah,
that's materialistic.
like
That's too high.
Yeah.
if she won't talk to any guy that
Like, he's
doesn't have a
not-
PhD, or if you didn't go to Harvard, or if you didn't go to
Or
Yale.
he has to make like $50,000, like more than
Yeah, a
$2
certain-
million dollars. Or he has to make this amount or more.
A certain amount of figures a year,
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and if you don't even do that, then I'm not even talking to you. I'm not even going to look your way. You can go
And he has
valet
to
my
fit-
car,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Right. Okay. So, sweet Miss Virginia says, I shouldn't have to build a man up from the foundation. If you can't hold a job or don't have any type of goals, that's not my job. Just getting with you to help you do that. No way. And I totally agree with that. I don't think that we should have to build you up. Now, maybe supportive as in, hey, let's go to school together. Let's do these type of things together. Then that's cool. But if you decide you don't want to keep a job, you want to go hustle on the streets, and I'm not staying around for that.
I think people go ahead, Chan.
What you have to understand, there is somebody for everyone. For the guy that likes to be out there in the street, hustle, sell dope,
Yeah.
smoke all the time, there is a girl who actually is intrigued by that. They like that. For the guy that wants to get a job,
always have-
have an
They're just-
education.
They're just looking for a thug.
But that's
The
what I'm
women
saying.
that-
There
Yeah,
is
it's mu-
somebody for everybody.
Right.
Everybody
There
has
are
their
women
own.
out there who don't have standards and who doesn't mind
yeah.
the guy who has the gold
Who gets-
teeth.
So basically,
Right.
what we got here is that this guy is a thug, and he
Obviously.
can't get that high quality woman that he really wants.
He doesn't have to be
Right.
a thug.
I mean, it's not
He
even
doesn't
so
have
much
to
that
be
he's a
thug.
thug.
The way he
You're being
sounds-
stereotypical right now, man.
The way he sounds right now is he said, why can't you
Yeah,
get a
why
guy
can't-
from the street
yeah.
and build up? So basically,
Yeah.
that's where he's
He's
at
kind
in
of
his
admitting
life.
that he's a thug himself.
Oh,
Right.
so
So the best answer that I found was you've obviously been rejected by several black women. However, you must realize that all women have standards. Some
Yeah.
women's standards are different than others. Generalizing black women will not help your understanding. You said they standards are way too high and they will not get it. You are too bitter to realize this fact, but I'm going to share it with you anyways. Not all black women have high standards as you say. I don't know where you live, but from where I'm seeing, there are tons of black women who have no standards at all. I totally agree with that.
I agree with that.
So many of them are with black men who are obviously absolutely no idea of what it is to be with a real man beyond their muscles and tattoos. I see many black women with men who are so sorry they can't even handle putting one foot before the other when they walk. Their pants are sagging so bad that their butts are showing, but they grin proudly with gold teeth in their mouths. They are loud and profane and very embarrassing. And I've seen those guys. Oh my God,
Oh, yeah,
I
they're
want to
around.
vomit.
They're
Yeah,
around.
motherfucker, cuz, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want
like,
to get a shout out to my
yeah,
homeboy, you know what I'm saying? Kiki, what up? You know what
But I
I'm
have a
saying?
question though. I think people get.
You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, I think people get misunderstand what build up is. Like they saying like a woman supposed to give you money. No, a woman builds you up from when you have nothing. Like she'll always support you from when you have
But
nothing.
Why are you looking for a woman to build you up?
Right. You need to be able to do that yourself.
Not just,
and
not
you
just
guys should
build up,
be
but support. That's what.
Right,
That's,
support.
That's what people. That's what people
And
misunderstand
if
about
she
that.
sees that you have ambition, then she's
Yeah.
probably willing to do that,
Yeah.
travel that road with you. But I mean,
But
not
I-
a dude who wants the baggy pants and not get a
But
job.
they
And
misconcept
white
build up.
America is not for me, and like
But
that's
they always,
crazy.
but they always consider build. They always add build up to that, and that's not what it is. That's not
Okay,
just
so
build
let me
up.
finish reading.
The
this.
white man
They
keeping me down.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
And
Ignorance.
but that's not true though, right? So all right,
Ignorance. That's just ignorance.
What is it? What's the? All right, so they.
White woman won't give me no job. That's just ignorance right
That
there.
is ignorance.
Look, he's doing it right now. Look at that
That's
stuff.
what he does it all the time. They refuse
What,
to
this?
take care of the children. All right, so wait. Anyway, let me get back to here. They're loud and profane and very embarrassing. They refuse to take care of children they father and refuse to commit in marriage because they are whorish and will only leave their wives and children for another woman. All they want to do is get high and stand in the street and look stupid. Job? What is that? You say black women are not willing to sacrifice? OMG. That's all that society sees is black women who are having to work and sacrifice in their being the father and mother to children who have been rejected by their fathers. We feel sorry for them, but needless to say, many of their sons grow up to be fine men despite the lack of their fathers in their lives. There are many black women with standards that are not high. These type of men have a low self-esteem, and the black women with them have low standards. I don't know what planet you fell off, sweetheart, but there are too many black women with low standards because their hunger for love and affection and lack of common sense. And sweet Miss Virginia said the same thing. Leston and possession doesn't equal love. Like, you know
And
what I'm saying?
honestly, I had to learn that the hard way. Lust and love are two different things.
Definitely.
Yes, they are.
different
And you can't get
things.
confused. You have to,
Yes, sir.
learn.
And he didn't do this, folks. He did this. He's like they're way far apart.
Totally
Two.
different.
Two different.
Of course, this
completely.
also might be a Texas thing. Hook 'em horns, you know.
There you go. But yeah, they're two different things. What you like in a woman because of what she can do in the bed, how she can talk to you,
Right.
how she can get you aroused or whatever, is not always necessarily what you want in a woman that you want to love.
Yeah. So,
Remember that, because that is very true. Because that is also the difference
That's
between
how women get their heart broken. They can be sexual deviants in bed,
yes,
and they can be just totally awesome in the sack. but
yes,
they don't have any other quality that he's really looking for. They don't
That's
support him.
That's it.
They don't do it.
Whenever you go out to work, she's bringing in your homeboy. You can't really take her out to a party because you get drunk and passed out.
And
She's
sleeping with somebody
sleeping with
else.
everybody else until they pass out. So you gotta
Right.
you gotta be careful.
Right. Okay, so the end of this is not all black women have low standards of acceptance, and that is a good thing. It is about time that black women begin demanding more, which I agree with. After all, white women are never penalized for having standards, but a black woman should dare want something more meaningful than what other black women settle for. She is bitched at by black men who don't meet those standards. I totally agree with that. I get told all the time, you want too much, and it's because just because you don't possess what I need or I want doesn't necessarily mean my standards are too high. It's just we're not meant for each other. So no man has the right to complain just because he does not meet her standards. Either man up and tighten up your game or move on. If all the black women you see have a high standards of what they would want you, and they wouldn't want you, something like that. But the question is, will you want one of those? The question may not be why are black women's standards so high. It should be what black women am I passing up to get to the black women over there who does not want me. In other words, it may not be about someone else's standards. The issue seems to be your standards. If you're wanting a dime woman, you should be in man what you want in a woman. And I agree with that. If you want a woman that is a dime, then you need to be a dime yourself. You need to be working and taking care of your outside looks and your inside looks and your vehicle, whatever, like that woman's doing for herself.
I agree.
So that you guys should be on the same level, right?
I agree.
So if not, if you're looking like a bum and you're buying clothes from Walmart, then you need to date the chick that comes into Walmart. Like, that's where you need to be. All right, so sweet Miss Virginia says, what about Caucasian women and other minorities? It's not only black women, it's just interesting how the focus seems to be on us. Absolutely. That's what this person said in the letter too. It said, when white women's standards are higher, they want a man that is like Bill Gates, then it's cool. But
Bill
as soon
Gates,
as a
Donald Trump, yeah.
Right, Donald Trump. But as soon as a black girl says, I want a Bill Gates, I mean, you're like, bitch, you can't get that. Like,
Yeah.
you need to go ahead with these hood niggas. Like, no, I can't stand the way dudes talk in Florida. It really
Honestly,
is
that's
so
all over.
What do you mean
unattractive.
dudes
It's-
talk
it's
in
all
Florida?
over.
I talk in Florida.
you're not black.
Oh, black dudes. Oh, black dudes.
Right, black dudes. I mean, all the, like how they were talking.
Lower area, like hood people.
Yeah,
people
hood
who love
people.
Plies. If you
Yeah.
have all of Plies'
What's
albums,
happening, baby?
there you go.
I can't stand it.
People who
No,
talk like that.
I
I don't know
absolutely
why he
agree
talks
with.
like. So go ahead.
I absolutely agree with sweet. Is it sweet?
Sweet Miss Virginia.
Sweet Miss Virginia. Absolutely. Why is the focus always on black women? And I mean, I see a lot of articles today where it says that, black women don't deserve, great, I don't know. It's just crazy out there that a lot of focuses are on black women. And I think it's just the racism that we still have.
Travis, what the hell are you talking about? There's white boy thugs.
Yeah, there
Those
are
are just
there are white
idiots.
boy thugs. No, there are some serious
Yes,
white
they
boy
are.
thugs that I know that
Yes.
will pull out a gun on them. Like, seriously, I know some
I
really...
believe
They're
we say it
idiots.
here because
What do you mean? Why are they idiots?
They're idiots.
They're idiots just like the black ones then, right?
Yeah.
I believe we say I think black women in general just get the most disrespectful out of the whole
They
race.
do.
We
But
get the most-
also,
they're the most
They
what-
really do.
disrespectful.
When you want more for yourself.
Also, what everybody also have to understand, just because we're talking about the black folks, how they have the improper language.
Right.
White people have it also.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Asian
right.
people have it also.
You're right.
Every race has their own lower, I'll say, Providence or
Yeah.
ghetto.
Right.
Every race have it.
Right.
People,
You're right.
I guess, like to pay more attention to blacks or African
We're,
Americans.
we're like targeted. Like, as,
Well, I don't
as
know.
the
I'm,
most.
you know,
We're
we got
always
the Oreo
targeted as
cookie
black
going on
people.
here. We got the two black people on the edges and the one white dude in the middle.
And the
I'm
black person
I'm
behind the
dream
mic.
filling, apparently.
We're trying to show equal opportunities. That's all.
Yeah.
I really don't like this guy after work.
Me neither.
All right, sweet Miss Virginia said, well, yeah, I don't limit myself to just white men. I like all kinds. But when you've been burned over in so many ways, you don't bother. There are other ways for black women to be hurt by black men besides sexual relationships. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh God, we just wait. This is turned into a
I
black
mean, I totally
conversation.
agree. Like,
Yeah,
no,
we're trying
I
to solve
totally
race
agree.
relations
I
now,
mean,
folks.
I didn't.
Normally, I date white guys, and I do because you just get so much more respect from them versus dating a black dude. Like,
Honestly,
you date
but that's wherever though.
That's
That's
wherever,
man.
you have you can date the same white guy. You can find the same thing in a black guy. You can
Yeah,
find the same thing in an Asian, in a Puerto
I
Rican,
can, but
in
it's
a Latin.
so much more rare when it comes to a different race.
It
And
just-
might
it
be
depends on
even-
where you look,
it
though.
might even-
That's when you,
and- but I
No,
mean, I
what
think
she's saying here, what she's saying when she says that is, this is her experience so far.
Okay, well, if it's
She's
your experience,
gotten
then
more
yeah.
respect when she's been dating the white guys
outside
than
my
the white
race.
guys.
But I
Okay.
mean, it might
Okay.
be a whole like trying to get to know each other type thing. So there's so much more respect, and it might be the same thing for a black dude dating a white girl, or I mean,
But I have another question.
Yes.
Do you hate it when black men date outside the race?
no. Why would I hate that if I'm doing the same thing?
Yeah,
I mean, it
that
doesn't
is. I
bother
think
me
that's
at
like
all.
Yeah,
stereo.
she's taking some. Who gave that advice
What that?
during some of our research? Who gave that advice when we were watching some of the videos and stuff?
What that? It's
What,
stupid.
dating outside the race?
Yeah, date outside the race.
Oh, I think it
Was that on that panel that we watched
Well,
with Steve Harvey and
Yeah,
Drew
I
Hill?
think it was, but it wasn't. It was just the white. It just came
Harper
up.
Hill. That's Harper Hill.
Yeah, Hill Harper, and it was
Hill Harper. Okay.
It was just a conversation how it just brought up like, is it okay?
Well,
for
didn't one of the women on there say, "Be comfortable dating outside your race"? Why is it so? Was it one of the
Taboo.
girls or was it one of the guys?
It was actually one of the girls that said that, because she said that it's okay to date outside the race, but don't bash black women. Don't say white women are better than black women. That's
Right.
that was her whole point.
Oh, that was her point. That's
Yes.
why she said
Don't
that.
say one's better than
But
the
she was
other.
telling the black women to date white guys. Who said
I mean,
that?
I think you should open. I think you should only. I think you should open your views of dating
yeah.
outside. I think it's a great thing to date
Well,
outside.
part of that panel, one of the big things that they were trying to discuss was that black women, for a lot of what you're saying, they get more disrespected, especially by the younger guys,
But I know everybody.
because of how black pop culture is. And so it's in the pop culture realm
The
of
media.
yeah, you got to be a thug and you got to do this. And
Because
you
the
can't,
media's
you
been
can't
pointing
show
fingers.
women proper respect because they're not gonna love you anyway
Well,
or
it's just,
whatever.
that's the media. See, the media always.
Yeah,
points
I know that. That's what I'm saying. So part of what they were saying was that even though with all that going on,
Yeah.
black women were still loyal
They
to
are.
black men, and it's very
That's-
cool
That
that
is
there's
true.
that kind of loyalty, and it's something that I don't think should be completely overlooked because
Asians are more loyal
yeah,
than
I mean,
anything.
that's one of
Hey,
men. That's
okay,
one of
Asian.
men's standards right there.
Yeah.
Loyalty, support, and sex. It's one of the big ones. The first one, loyalty, and they are willing to show
Yup,
a
loyalty.
higher degree of loyalty. Now, why they continue to show it for guys who are unworthy of that loyalty, that's beyond me.
Yeah, I agree.
Asians are like loyal, like more than anything.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
talk
Yeah,
about, if
that's
you want to
what
go into
Sweet-
loyalty.
That's what sweet Miss Virginia says. She says she loves Asians. I dated an Asian before, and they are extremely sweet. They are so nice and very loyal. I like them too. People have so many perceptions about people, especially when they've never interacted with those people. That's true. And two guys on here, Ali and Travis, said that they. Travis said that. Hold on. No, I'm sorry. Ali said that hood guys were idolized in his home as a kid. So, like, he was grown up around that type of behavior, and how else do you know how to be?
Yeah,
like
I
that?
mean, but
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. When
So
the
it's
pop
unfair.
culture, when that pop culture
Yeah,
sets
music.
in,
it's not even
hip-hop.
so much pop culture. It's just about where you were raised. Like they
Yup,
said,
exactly.
he was hood people were
well,
idolized.
the popular
Yeah.
culture in the hood is going to be a hood culture. Right?
Exactly, but I wasn't raised in the hood. I was raised in the
Yeah, me
suburbs.
neither.
So my idol was like Bill Cosby
Yeah, me
and
too.
stuff like that. So I'm like, oh snap, I want to be like
There's
that.
another way to be.
Yeah, you know what I'm
I grew
saying?
up in
So-
hey, you can't say that because I grew up in the inner city too, and I didn't idolize those hood stars. I idolize people like Bill Cosby or
Michael Jackson,
Michael,
you know, people
Michael,
like that.
Michael Jackson, but people who own corporate stuff. Like,
Right.
I wanted to be Ed Lover, who was not actually a big rapper, but he was a famous DJ and knew how to communicate with people socially on a social level.
Exactly.
So you just can't say people in the hood don't idolize these other people. That's not true. It all depends on the house.
Right.
It's
I
all
mean,
on the
I
house.
think it's
And
okay.
that is true,
Look,
yeah.
if you want to be hood, it's cool. What you need to do is have two faces. I mean, be a hood at home and then go to, be educated
We're
out in the
discussing
streets.
race relations now, Chuck.
Yes.
And be educated out in the streets. I mean,
I'm
get
sorry,
it
say that
together.
again.
We're solving race relations now.
You're solving it, or
we're
you're
solving
just
it.
we
Yeah.
solving it?
you're just barely delving into it, my friend.
Right.
Yeah,
Trust
I
me.
know.
We just got to.
I know that's part of the point of
But
solving it.
It is 4:07, you guys. So we've had a
Yeah, we
great
gotta
show.
wrap this up.
We do have to wrap it up.
Okay, so ladies, one last comment about lists. When you ladies
to
put
it.
money on the list, there's something that you might be not tuned into. You're setting a price on yourself. And when you set a price on yourself, you can be bought. And if you can be bought,
Then you're a hoe.
what's the difference between that and being a hooker?
It's heartbroken.
Well, I mean, I disagree with that. I don't. When you said I don't agree with that. I think you should have standards and stick to them. I mean, you don't have to tell the guy what your list is. I don't.
No,
understand.
what I'm saying,
Maybe I didn't listen.
a guy that's
What
got to
about-
be a doctor, he's got to have a BMW, blah blah. Those
Oh,
specifics.
those type of specifics.
Yeah, not yours. You're like, I just need a man with ambition. He's got to be able to have focus
I
and
think
drive. And
women who say he's got to be a doctor, they're a little younger. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
you're not gonna.
It really depends on what do you want out of life.
But there are some women who want doctors, and that's the only
Then
thing
that's
they
what
want to
that's
date.
what they're going
But
for. Then that's
right.
it.
Then that's
really
okay.
it.
Let that be her standard, and you move on.
I'm just
Or
looking
become
for a good
doctor.
freak. That's it. Just give me a couple good freaks, you and your girlfriend and me, and we'll have a good time.
Notice he brought in the girlfriend too. That's so he wants a threesome.
Sweet Miss Virginia said, by the way, Jay, you are way too old to be wearing a t-shirt like that. I agree, girl.
She told me
Ooh.
that with the last shirt. You know what? This is Mr. Wright's image right here. The $5 footlong, okay?
Yeah.
All right, folks. That's the terrible truth. So until next week.
Terrible truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time from IPN Studios, The Terrible Truth. Look them up next week on TerribleTruthShow.com and check out this week's content as a rerun.
Yeah.
We'll see you next Thursday at 3 p.m.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Love and happiness.
Peace, love, and happiness. Nappy.